She's a roller coaster. Oh, she's so flame. I'm burning up inside, but I can feel no pain. I won't try to stop her. She can't be tamed. I'm so in love with her. I fall and try again. Get up and try.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope this video finds you all very well. Today I have an exciting video because today we are finally going to be using the new Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. I know this is a super hot seller right now. It's definitely been the topic of discussion lately. I think Jaclyn and the Morphe team definitely killed it with this palette. They did an amazing job creating all of these beautiful shades, and honestly the pigmentation in this palette is to die for. When this palette came out, I just remember my jaw dropped. I was like, bitch, I need this palette right now, like right now. So I definitely got my hands on it for sure. I do have to say I am a huge fan of the Jaclyn Volume 1 palette. I think I've been through like 4 or 5 palettes already. That is definitely my go-to palette. That is just like my baby. I love it so much. But this Volume 2 palette, I feel like I had to create something very dramatic, something very colorful, for the same reason that when you just look at this palette, you just automatically think bright colors, just like colorful makeup looks in general. So of course, I had to create something, I had to live up to the standard, you know? I'm super excited to show you guys how I created this makeup look using the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. So if you guys are interested in learning or simply watching how I created this makeup look, then just please keep on watching. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to be applying is this P. Louise x Mitchell Acid Rain collection in the shade Ibiza. And this is just going to work as a base before we apply the 2 purple shadows from this palette. And I'm also going to be taking my Morphe M441 blending brush. Yes, I'm going to really twirl the brush around to make sure we have even product all over that blending brush. And I'm just going to be applying this really softly and gently, packing this onto all over that crease. Since this is a cream base, obviously you want to take it slow and make sure you blend really evenly before you apply any sort of powder on top of it. And what this is basically just going to do for me is pretty much just give these eyeshadows twice more pigment than they pretty much already are, because these eyeshadows, you guys, are no joke. They're actually pretty pigmented. I'm also just gonna drag this out a little bit outward towards the brow bone a little bit. Okay, so I'm first going to go in with Therapy Sesh, which this is actually such a beautiful purple. And I'm just gonna start packing this really slowly and really into that base. I'm really gonna blend this out really slowly and gently, and I'm just gonna work my way up and make this as pigmented as I possibly can. Alright, so I am going to go back in with Ibiza, and I'm just going to be adding this right on top of that Therapy Sesh eyeshadow. I know this is totally weird, but like I said, I really want more pigment before I add the next shade. So I'm just going to add this to really enhance that. So you really want to make sure this is really nicely blended before you add the next shade on top, because then it's going to be a complete disaster. So just make sure everything is nice and seamless. And next I'm going to be adding Not My Journey, which is a much more deeper purple. And again, I'm just going to pack it on first, and then I'm going to start blending this really into that crease. And you really want to make sure you get into that inner corner as well, because we are going to create a cut crease, and we really want that crease to be super nice and crisp. Next, I'm gonna go in with Dance Party, and I'm gonna blend this really slightly on the outer corner. I'm really not going to go too crazy with this, but as you guys can see here, it's going to turn into like a very dark pigment. See how it turns a little dark here around this area, but also gives you that slight pink effect. Don't want to go too crazy with this at all. I really just want a little bit of this mixed in here. And I'm also going to be adding a little bit of Crazy, which is this shade down here. And I'm also just gonna add a little bit of this mixed right in there as well, right on that outer corner. And you just really want to fling this outward to give us that cat eye effect a little bit. Alright, so we're gonna leave the outer corner alone for a little bit now. I am going to start creating the crease, and as you guys can see, it's going to be a half cut crease. I'm gonna be using blank canvas, also from the P. Louise times Mitchell Acid Rain collection. You guys know how much I love this base. And I'm also going to be taking my favorite brush to cut the crease with, and this is also from the Acid Rain collection. I am going to really try and stay on the natural crease of my eye. Now I'm going to go in with No Joke, which is of course the yellow in this palette. And I'm just gonna pack this on all over the lid. Alright, moving on to the next shade, I'm gonna be using Talia, which is more of like this golden shimmery shade right here. And I'm just gonna pack this on right on that outer edge of where we stopped applying that matte yellow shade. Really just want to blend those two together. It's gonna give a really nice gradient effect. I'm going to be taking Dance Party one more time, which is this shade here. And I'm just gonna take a slight bit of that shade, and I'm just gonna pack this on right on that outer corner. Just to, like I said, give us that nice gradient effect. All right, and now we're gonna go back in with that brush that I mentioned earlier. This is the brush that we were using to blend out the outer corner. I'm gonna be taking the black in this palette, so Temp Stress. And I'm gonna be taking a little bit of the black because honestly, a little bit of this goes a long way. Just take your time with the black because like I said, it's really pigmented. And I'm just gonna start adding this right on that outer corner, really taking it slow and blending this really nicely. I'm gonna bring it up just a tiny bit to that crease. All right, so here is the eye look all completed. Now, of course, we just have to do the bottom lash line. I'm gonna be taking my makeup remover wipe and I'm just going to start cleaning up underneath the eye. So I'm just gonna clean up really quickly. All right, moving on to the face, I'm gonna be using the Porefessional primer from Benefit. For foundation, I'm gonna go in with Frankie Rose Cosmetics. This is their Matte Perfection Foundation in the shade Bare. To cream contour my face, I'm gonna be using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Toffee. Alright, so for concealer and also to highlight underneath the eye area, I'm gonna be using the Sharp Tape. You guys, I was gonna say Sharp Tape. Shape Tape in the shade Light Sand. And to set the entire face, I'm gonna go in with the RCMA translucent powder. I almost forgot to show you guys the bronzer that I was using, but I am gonna go in with the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. Alright guys, so we're almost finished. As you guys can see, I already completed the bottom lash line on the left side. For the bottom lash line, I'm going to be taking Tipsy Girl, which is this very nice, beautiful hot pink shade from the palette. And I'm just going to be taking a pointed brush for this. I'm going to add this all over the entire lash line. And I'm also going to drag this out a little bit down below that wing-shaped eyeshadow that we created. For the waterline, I'm going to be taking this Wet n Wild multi-stick pencil, and this is in the shade Pink Rose. And I'm just gonna go in with, oh my god, my hair, y'all. Why ain't y'all saying nothing? My hair looks like shit. I am gonna be taking Tipsy Girl once again, and I'm pretty much just going to set that liner that we just applied from Wet n Wild. It's gonna make it a little bit more pigmented once you set it. The last shade I'm gonna be taking from this palette, oh my god, miojo. Ooh, is Dance Party. I'm not going to go too crazy with this one. I really just want a tiny bit of this right on that outer corner. And the last shade I'm going to be taking is I'm In It. And this shade is very, very cool because you would think it's just like a very light frosty shade, but it really turns into like a very nice pink gradient effect. I'm gonna be taking this and of course adding it to the inner corner. Okay, so since I really love this inner corner shade so much, I'm gonna also use this a little bit to highlight the face. So I'm just gonna use it and adding it to the temples. Just really gonna add it to my nose, a little bit here on the cupid's bow, and a little bit on the cheekbones. Oh, why do I feel like I'm gonna go crazy here on the cheekbones? Like I just wanna do it. I just wanna do it. Alright, so I'm gonna add a little bit of blush now, and I'm gonna be taking the Laura Mercier blush color infusion in the shade Strawberry. So it is a pink blush. Alright, so of course I did already pop on my lashes. Just any lashes will do. So we're gonna move on to the last step, which is the lips, and of course I'm gonna do a nude. I think I'm gonna go in with this Gerad Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Melrose Place. For lipstick, I'm gonna go in with Cool Girl from Too Faced. And lastly, for gloss, we're gonna be adding this one from LA Girl, and this is their gloss topper in the shade Clearly Clear. Sticky. It's just a good old lip gloss, and this little packaging just takes me way back. And last but not least, I'm gonna be adding this Pixi Skin Treats Rose Glow Mist. Alright you guys, so that concludes this entire makeup tutorial. I really hope you guys had as much fun as I did creating this makeup look. If you guys are interested in any of the products mentioned throughout this entire video, they will all be listed down in the description box for you guys, as well as my social media. That way you guys know what I do when I'm not on YouTube. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon in my next video. Bye guys.